My name is Amalia, and if you follow my page, then you already know that my mother, father, and I all contracted the new coronavirus, also known as COVID-19. So we've already gotten so much information about how to prepare for the virus and how to prevent the virus and all of those things, but there's very little information about what you should do if you happen to get the virus. Now, my whole family got it at very different levels. My mom was completely asymptomatic. My dad ended up in the hospital for 4 days with pneumonia, and I was in the middle with some fairly severe symptoms. We did have to call 911, but all of us are pulling through. In the course of this, we managed to get a lot of advice from doctors and scientists about what we could do with the coronavirus to improve our likelihood of survival and the likelihood that not only will we survive, but that we would have minimal, if any, permanent damage. So today I want to talk to you about some of those things. And so these are my tips that come from scientists, that come from doctors, that come from very good resources to help you stay healthy if you already have the coronavirus, hopefully increase your chances of survival, and even increase the chance that you're going to recover without lasting damage. Well, the first thing to remember is that I have asthma. So there was a lot of fear in the beginning that as someone with asthma, as someone who already has weak lungs, I was going to be in a lot of danger. So if you have asthma, please, please, please use your inhaler every 4 to 6 hours once you know you have coronavirus. Whether you feel you need it or not, your body needs the support. And that's something that's fairly easy to do. Obviously, if you don't have asthma, don't use an inhaler. That would be crazy. You'd be using medicine that isn't right for you. The next things I'm going to recommend actually do require you to go and buy some things. These are things that can be bought online, or you can get them at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, any medical supply store, and they are very inexpensive. The first is something called an incentive spirometer. And this looks a lot more intimidating than it really is. Usually, what an incentive spirometer is used for is to measure how much air your lungs can hold, your lung capacity. But what's really cool is you can also use it as a way to exercise your lungs. And the real issue with the coronavirus is that it weakens your lungs and the little pockets in your lungs, which I believe are called alveoli, so they collapse faster. Basically, you can use this to stretch your lungs, give them the exercise they need while you are sick, and it will help you stay healthy longer. So here's how it works. You're going to notice that I've got this little ball here, and sometimes it's a little plastic piece, and 3 levels. Frowny face, happy face. What I need to do is breathe in through this tube as long as I can while keeping the ball in the middle section. I don't want to breathe too low, I don't want to breathe too high, and do that absolutely as long as I can. And you'll notice that this is going to go up, and this is going to tell me what my lung capacity is. So you do it just like this. Ready? Okay, I managed to hit around 2,300, which is not good for me. I'm a singer. I can usually get about 3,500, but when I was at my worst with the virus, I was below 1,500. So when you are sick with coronavirus, what you should do, get one of these and do that same breathing exercise. Do it about 5 or 10 times in a row each hour that you're awake. Obviously, don't wake yourself up in the night for it. That is going to provide you exercise. You really need to do it until you've breathed everything out of your lungs. You really want to start with a big breath in. This is going to provide your lungs with the exercise they need to stay strong and prevent the possible collapse that can come with pneumonia. The other thing that makes the incentive spirometer so important is, remember how I told you my usual is 3,500. Right now I'm at 2,300, and at my worst I was below 1,500. This is going to allow you to monitor your lung capacity super well. So if one day you're at 2,500 and the next day you're at 1,300, you need to call someone. Even if you feel okay, this can be an early alarm system that tells you that you need to call someone. One of the biggest problems with coronavirus is often by the time you're showing the really bad symptoms, the hospital symptoms, you've already done a ton of damage to your body. By having something like this, you can actually learn what your body is doing before you can consciously feel it. These babies usually cost $10 to $15. I actually borrowed this one from a friend. So you might even have a friend who has one, but any medical supply store will have this. So let's talk about the next tool you need. This tool should be in every home first aid kit. And this is called a pulse oximeter. I got this one from CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens. Any medical supply store will have it. And what this does is two things. It checks your pulse, your heart rate, but it also checks what your blood oxygen level is. I'm feeling pretty healthy. I'm mostly recovered. Let's pop this baby on my finger. Sometimes if you're wearing dark nail polish, you will have to take your nail polish off. And now I just wait. Takes a couple seconds, sometimes a bit longer. Today it's being slow. But the number that's going to come up is both my pulse and my blood oxygen level. So you can see that my pulse is 70 and my blood oxygen level is 100%. So I have perfect blood oxygen level right now, which is also how you know that I've recovered from coronavirus. This is super useful to you. If your blood oxygen level is above 95, you really have nothing to worry about. If your blood oxygen level is like 90, 91, 92, 93, you should call your doctor or maybe urgent care. If your blood oxygen level is below 90, please, please, please call emergency. Call 911 or whatever the emergency number is in your country. This is more important than you think. We just got an article from the New York Times that found out that these pulse oximeters, which usually cost less than $10, can be the difference between life and death, because people who've just felt a little bit of shortness of breath have come into the ER with COVID-19 and their blood oxygen level has been 50%. That's the walking dead. These people already have pneumonia and they just don't know it, because the way COVID pneumonia works is your lungs don't fill up with liquid, your lungs actually kind of start collapsing. So with this, even before you start feeling any of those bad symptoms, you can see if your blood oxygen level is getting too low. This means instead of waiting until things might be too late, you can call the doctor when there is plenty of time to solve the problem. Now, neither of these tools are specific to COVID-19. We have these in the house because I have asthma. And this one I borrowed from a friend, but we have another one as well. We had multiple people with COVID-19 we didn't want to share. And so even when I have bad bronchitis, I use this. This is something that just is generally used to check my pulse or check my blood oxygen level if I've had a bad asthma attack. They're cheap, they're reusable, they last for, honest to God, years. And they could literally save your life. So this awesome little thing here is going to tell you what's going on and when you should call 911. Now, an important note on this. What if you put it on and it's like 92 and you're getting concerned? Take a moment, stand up if you're able to. If you're not able to, obviously call 911. Stand up, maybe walk around your room once, sit back down, do it again. Sometimes your blood oxygen level just appears really low because you've been sitting still and our fingertips don't always get the best circulation. But, so if you sit down and it's 97 or 98, then you're doing fine. But if it's 91 and you sit down and it's still 91, that means that your blood oxygen level is actually low. This here, like I said, is a tool that can save your life. This is something that's going to help you exercise and keep your lungs healthy. This is going to help you monitor so that you know when an emergency is coming before it is too late to get help. Early intervention makes all the difference. Finally, if you have COVID-19, something you can do that's super easy and is going to protect yourself is to lie on your front. I know most of us are used to being back sleepers or maybe side sleepers, but the way we lie affects our lungs because of gravity, obviously. So when we lie on our front, that puts different tension and releases a lot of the tension on our lungs. So if you're not comfortable sleeping on your front, which I totally understand, when you're sitting around at home watching Netflix, set up the pillows, lie on your front. Spend as much time as you can lying on your front if you're going to be lying down. These are all things that are easy to do at home. These only cost a little bit of money and can really make the difference between life and death and permanent damage or leading a healthy future life. I hope all of these tips help you out. And I, first of all, hope that none of you guys actually get this virus. It's really awful. It was very, very scary. But if you do, please use these tips and tricks. These are not just something from a random website. This is actually what doctors and scientists are saying. They're saving lives in hospitals, and you can do them all at home to prevent you from having to go to the hospital in the first place. Please stay safe. Please stay healthy. Feel free to share this video with anyone you think would do well with the information. Thank you so much, and I really hope that this helps you all stay very healthy and very safe during this difficult time.